very nice to have you here with us. It's a pleasure.
Pleasure to be here.
And execution as learning is a different approach to execution. How could leaders build a workplace environment of execution with a learning mindset?
Mindset is the critical word there. So I think execution as learning happens when there's a very deep and shared recognition that we don't have all the answers today for the results we hope to get tomorrow, in the future. So our only hope of excellence is to try things and be ever so responsive to the feedback that we get, so that we know we have to execute, right? We have to do the work, and we know that we don't have all the answers. So we're trying to inspire people, leaders are trying to inspire people to take action where they are, whether they're customer facing or in the factories or in a service operation. They have to try things, get the data, see what works, try something else, and on it goes from there. That's the way work gets done in an uncertain world.
And about collaboration and learning, how teams learn together on a fly.
So much of the work today is interdependent, right? I can't do it alone. I can't just be alone at my desk or alone at a machine doing my work. I have to rely on you, you have to rely on me. So that means the learning has to be interdependent also, or collaborative. That means that a lot of the crucial learning that happens in organizations happens in teams. Part of the challenge is that many of those teams aren't stable teams. They're teams on the fly. I'm working with you today and someone else tomorrow. So there's a lot of fluidity, a lot of flexibility. The way that we do that learning is through extraordinary openness. I'm very open with you about what I'm trying to get done, and you're open with me about what you're trying to get done. And together, each of us learns more each day about our own work and about each other's work, and that's how the organization improves.
And what is the role of psychological safety in all this environment of trust and teams that trust people, trusting each other, learning together, working together?
So I believe psychological safety is mission critical to success in the modern world. So psychological safety is a shared belief that I can bring my full self to work, that I won't be criticized or humiliated for speaking up with work-relevant ideas, questions, concerns, and even mistakes. If I have a work environment characterized by psychological safety, it frees me up to be myself, and it frees me up to be candid, to be direct, to be straightforward, and frankly, to learn. And so psychological safety is just essential in any kind of learning organization today.
There's a case you told in an interview about the Chilean miners. How is this interesting for us in a business environment to think about the 33 Chilean miners trapped, and how the team worked together to get them out of there?
There's two reasons why this is absolutely relevant, this case, for business leaders. And the first is the rescue was considered nearly impossible at the outset. And many business leaders I meet today feel that their challenges are daunting, right? They feel that the markets are more competitive than ever, the customers are more unpredictable than ever, and that their challenges are just simply daunting. And so the Chilean mine rescue is an example of a daunting challenge that was overcome. The second reason why I think it's relevant for business leaders is that the success depended on two things. One was innovation, and I'll say more about that, and the other was leadership that enables innovation. So innovation happens when today we don't have a solution for some challenge or problem that we face. So we have to come up with new solutions, new possibilities. And that is ultimately a team sport, a multidisciplinary sport. In the Chilean mine rescue, people came from multiple industries, multiple areas of expertise, multiple countries, and found a way, through effective leadership, to work together to devise technological solutions that hadn't existed even at the time of the collapse. So it's an extraordinary example of what human beings can do when they use their ingenuity, when they team up, and when they're well led. And by well led, I mean leaders who create the conditions where they can bring their full selves, bring their ideas, test their ideas out. In fact, it was an extraordinary example of execution as learning.
Here in Brazil, we're talking about lifelong learning a lot because the ability to be a continuous learner really is something that is critical for the business success in a changing business environment. How should companies foster this culture? It's a culture of lifelong learning.
It's a great question. I think a critical human capacity, and adults need to learn or relearn this capacity, is the capacity to learn how to learn. And that's because in today's world, your skills and your knowledge are going to be obsolete at a certain time, in the future. So none of us have all the answers we need to be successful in the future. So we're going to have to keep learning just to stay in the game. Jobs are disappearing at a very high rate. And I don't mean just the number of jobs. In fact, I mean something very different. I mean the kinds of jobs that exist today, many of them just won't be a real category tomorrow. Machines will do them or robots will do them. And so the jobs that human beings will be doing, say 20 years from now, many of them don't exist today. So we're going to have to just keep learning, and that's both a mindset and a capability. In companies, I think we can create that expectation and celebrate that is, in fact, the human gift, right? The human capacity is that capacity to keep learning. Now, we can learn in online courses, we can learn in classrooms, we can learn just with each other in the workplace. There's lots of ways to learn, but I think as long as we embrace that need to learn and recognize it as a part of our ongoing job, the job to be done, I think we'll be in better shape.
Thank you.